Yeah, so welcome. Today is the last day of September. That's 30th of September 2017. We thank God for keeping us, and we are here to hold our session on EST 875. We are Lagos State University people, master's degree students, and we will be looking at the computer engineering basis of artificial intelligence. Bile, you are going to kick off the presentation, and so please run your presentation for about 8 minutes. I'll warn you after 3 minutes, so we'll then stop after 8 minutes, and then we'll take questions. Yeah, then you can respond. So the usual way we go. So please carry on, Bile.
Good morning, class. Thank you for this opportunity once again. Yes, sir. Yes, so I move quickly to the introduction. The the seed of modern artificial intelligence were planted by classical philosophers who attempted to describe the process of human thinking as the mechanical manipulation of symbols. This work culminated in the invention of programming digital computer in the 1940s, a machine based on the abstract essence of mathematical reasoning. So I'll move to the next slide, which is the third slide, the history. Look at the names of various people who have participated one way or the other. The field of AI research were founded at a workshop held on the campus of Dartmouth College during the summer in 1956. Those who attended will become the leaders of AI research in decades, which we have seen from the list on the slide. Many of them predicted that a machine as intelligent as human being would exist in no more than the generation that we have now. I'll move over to the next slide, which is slide 4, the foundation of AI. Computer engineering, how to build an efficient computer, providing the artifact that makes it applicable possible. The power of computer make computation of large and difficult problems more easy. Also, it has been able to contribute its own work to computer science, which include time sharing, the link like data types, and object-oriented programming. I'll move over to the next slide, which is slide 5.
Yeah.
Just to give us a brief definition of what is this, and what I've tabulated there could summarize the definition of what artificial intelligence. But I want to just point on it as the study of mental faculties through the use of computational models. I move over to the next slide, which is slide 6. Is the class with me?
Yes, sir, yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So, the basis for computer engineering for artificial intelligence. If you look at the diagram there, you see it involves one form of engineering and computation. While I move quickly to the next slide. Anything that has to do with AI, the basis starts from computing engineering. I want to pick my points from the goals of artificial intelligence. The artificial intelligence is the science and technology which based on the disciplines of on slide 7, which include computer science, biology, psychology, linguistics, mathematics, and engineering. A major thrust of artificial intelligence in the development of computer functions associated with human intelligence, such as reasoning, learning, and problem solving. I also want to pick the point that computer engineering is the basis of artificial intelligence based on artificial intelligence, which involves or which includes to create expert system, the system which exhibits intelligent behavior, learning, demonstration, explain, and advise its user. Lastly, I want to talk of the implementation as one of the points as a basis of computer engineering in artificial intelligence. To implement human intelligence in machine, creating systems that understand, think, learn, and behave like humans. I move over to the next slide, which is slide 8, the period of artificial intelligence. I move quickly also to slide 9. These two slides includes the periods which I also base my points and which I have listed as part of the explanation in the goals of artificial intelligence, which started way back in the after the Second World War. So I now move over to the next slide, which is slide 10, advantages and disadvantages of artificial intelligence. So from the slides, we could see some of the advantages there, but I want to add some conversion of information into knowledge is one of the advantages that we have seen artificial intelligence has exhibited these days. Relieves information overload and better handling of information are all done by artificial intelligence that we have in our society these days. Then disadvantages, apart from what we have there, I quickly want to talk about the few practical products have reached the market as at yet. And up to this very moment, especially in the third world countries like Nigeria, few experienced programmers are also around. We don't have much experts in this field up to this way. Now the future. The future of artificial intelligence. I'm on slide 14 now. AI is already part of our daily lives. There has been several AI booms up to the present, but these were all transient phenomena. Now, however, the development of the internet and dramatic increase in computer processing speed has helped to realize deep learning, which is the outcome of high-volume machine learning and brain science. With this, a major technological barrier has been overcome, and there has been great expectation for the future development. For me, I'm one of those people who are thinking that AI does not possess instinct. It cannot surpass humanity. It cannot surpass our university. It cannot surpass our society. However, whether we doubt it like Thomas in the Bible, this perspective or not, we will all agree that AI will have an overwhelming impact in our schools, industries, and our society. And that society must prepare itself
for the
development of artificial. So the next slide, which is slide 16, slide 15 is my references.
Okay, thank you.
And the last slide. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bele, for that presentation. Can we now take comments, questions for Bele? We will begin with Ademola Lawal. Ademola, do you have a question for him? Solomon? Busayo?
I just want to ask, thank you for that presentation. I just want to ask, what are the areas which we can actually apply artificial intelligence?
All right. Jeremiah. Uchenna.
Can actually apply.
It's a comment.
Uchenna.
Okay. I just want to ask.
No, Jeremiah, we are finished with you. Jeremiah, we are finished with you. We are with Uchenna now. Yes. Please carry on. Can you speak louder, madam?
I said it's a contribution. I want to make a contribution.
Go ahead. You're actually presenting next. You are presenting next.
Okay, sir. You say that artificial intelligence, that in the third world countries like Nigeria hasn't, there's nobody who's an expert in artificial intelligence. But even in developed countries, artificial intelligence hasn't gotten to what it has been expected to get to. So even as much as Nigeria hasn't gotten to that level, even the developed countries are still struggling to get to where artificial intelligence is meant to take us.
Okay, Johnson. Okay, Gwileye, now you respond.
Yes. you very much, class. Mr. Busayo, your question, area of application of artificial intelligence. We have so many areas. For example, handwriting recognitions, some of which we have on our phones, even thumb printing, speech recognition, face recognition, artificial creativity, then that of computer vision, virtual reality, and image processing. We also have the application in areas of diagnosis in our hospital. Thank you.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. Thank you.
Now, I'm going to make my comments, give you my perspectives on it at the end of the presentation. So let's have Uchenna's presentation, and we will give you 8 minutes to make your presentation, and then we'll take questions thereafter.
Okay, sir.
All right, that's fine. We have Uchenna Ugoke's presentation here on computer engineering basis for artificial intelligence. Actually, the basis is BASIS. The basis, not that E. It's with an I. So please carry on, madam. Make your presentation. 8 minutes.
I'm going straight to my second slide, where I have the definition of what computer engineering is all about.
Yeah.
Actually, the branch of engineering that creates electronic engineering with computer science.
Yeah, I'm not
Computer
reading. I'm
engineers
not reading
usually
you.
have training.
Yeah, please can you speak louder? Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So I like I said earlier, I'm on the second slide where I'm trying to explain computer engineering. And I said it's a branch of engineering that integrates electronic engineering with computer science. Actually, computer engineers usually have trainings in electronic engineering or electrical engineering, software design, software integration. Instead of only software engineering or electronic engineering, they learn how to integrate hardware and software. Then going forward to the third slide, we also look at what computer engineers are capable of doing. They are also suited for robotic research, which relies heavily on using digital systems to control and monitor electrical systems. So, looking at this now, so for the first slide, the field of engineering is not something that focuses only on computer systems, but it has to do with integrating computers and computer hardware and software. And in as much as it's doing that, computer engineering also looks at the bigger picture, something that has to do with the future. And we're looking at having software that creates machines that can reason like intelligent human beings. And this is what brings us to artificial intelligence. Now, what is artificial intelligence? I'm on the fifth slide now.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence is now a thing that has to do with machines reasoning like intelligent human beings. Now, artificial intelligence actually was seen a man saw artificial intelligence, and that's what next slide now. Okay, sorry. Research on artificial intelligence focuses on development and analysis of algorithms that learn and perform intelligent behaviors with minimal human intervention. You can read the rest of the write-up from that slide. Then, like I said earlier, there was a man who saw artificial intelligence, and he's by the name Alan Turing. He's actually a computer scientist. Alan Turing made enormous contributions to computer science, and the most important of them is the Enigma code-breaking machine that broke German ciphers in World War II. So he is seen as a father of artificial intelligence. Now, you can't talk about artificial intelligence without mentioning his name, and he was actually a computer scientist. So I think gradually we are beginning to see the link between computer engineering and artificial intelligence. We talked about robotics, we talked about software, and artificial intelligence is going to have having hardware that can fit to the edge of software like intelligent systems. Now moving on to my slide 8. We have attributes of analysis that automates analytical model building. It's actually a branch of artificial intelligence based on the idea that machines are able to learn and adapt through experience. And what happens? This is done with the aid of the software, which can be written by now. What is required to put machine learning system? We have data preparation capability, algorithm, automation, and iterative
You have
process.
spent 6 minutes. You have 2 minutes more, madam.
Sampling modeling. Moving on to the next slide. That's slide 9. Then the second attribute of artificial intelligence, we have data mining. Data mining is the process of finding anomalies, patterns, and correlations within large data sets to predict outcomes. And how does it work? It works by descriptive modeling, predictive modeling, and prescriptive modeling. Let me just give an explanation of descriptive modeling and the rest. All right. So, descriptive modeling has to do with uncovering.
Remember, you have just 2 minutes more.
Okay. It has to do with uncovering, sharing similarities or groupings in historical data to determine reasons behind success or failure, such as categorizing customers by product preferences. It's simply a way of getting data with aid of machines, and you use experiences that you have had to compare with what you're getting now.
You have 1 more minute. You have 1 more minute.
You'll be able to build software that can work in a machine. Then finally, I have my last slide where I have my references.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well done, well done. Well done. That's very good. That's very good. It's a different perspective that we're having, taken off from computer engineering and showing the interlink between computer engineering, computer science, and artificial intelligence, and giving us some depth about what artificial intelligence is about. So let's have questions, and we'll start with Busayo. Ademola Lawal just looking at us. He's not part of us. Busayo.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Uche, for the presentation. On your slide 9, I saw something like descriptive modeling, predictive, and prescriptive. Can you please shed more light on those things?
I think she did. Don't waste our time on it. She did now. That's the one I was prompting her to move quickly on. But anyway, if you have to say one more thing on it, that will be fine. Jerry, are you there? Okay. Gweleyi, over to you. That's the last one.
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, we're here. Gweleyi, you have the floor.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Uche, that's a very good presentation. I just want to make comment on your slide 3. Are you there?
Yes.
Uche. That slide, I just want you to lay just few explanation on sensor. Sensors. Just explain. And your picture there. Please, maybe we shouldn't allow the size or the numbers to reflect. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So back to you, Uchenna. 2 questions.
Okay, let me answer Busayo's question first.
Yes.
Descriptive modeling has to do with when you have a group of historical data. It actually has to do with software. When you want to code a particular system to perform a particular thing, because artificial intelligence has to do with reasoning, machines reasoning like humans. So descriptive modeling has to do with getting analysis of information that you had in the past, and then what you are getting currently, and comparing to see what it looks like or what you hope to get later on. You just have to look at the similarities and reactions. Use that to put in the machine to work the way you want it to work.
Okay.
That's descriptive modeling. Then, speaking of my slide 3, Gweleyi, look at my referencing. You see that the site where I picked that image from was actually referenced on this write-up. So you can't say I am stealing the pictures. That's why I purposely allowed it to show, so you will know that it's not like I am stealing the picture for myself. That's just. Then you said something about sensors. I will just give you an example of a sensor. There are some places that you're going into. Then you have something that shows that you are walking towards that place and the door automatically opens. That's an example of a sensor. I don't know if you understand what I just explained now.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it does. I mean, he's a computer engineer himself and a computer scientist. He knows what a sensor is. I think he was making reference to it with regard to how artificial the gadget that the computer engineer would have devised that is now responding like a human. In fact, if you looked at the recent development in artificial intelligence, you find, okay, I'll come to that when I'm giving you my own summary of it all. So thank you, Uchenna. Busayo, are you ready to make your presentation?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So let's roll with yours. Okay, Busayo, so you have the floor, 8 minutes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning, everybody. I'll be presenting on the basis the basis of artificial intelligence. And let's quickly go to my slide 2, where I have actually what is artificial intelligence. Now, according to John M.C. Carty, who is the father of artificial intelligence, he actually defined artificial intelligence as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines, especially intelligent computers. Yeah, artificial intelligence is actually a way of making a computer-controlled robot or a software that actually thinks in a similar manner the way intelligent human thinks. Now, on my slide 3, goals of artificial intelligence. Now, the main goal of artificial intelligence is actually to create an expert system and to implement human intelligence in a machine. When we say expert system actually incorporates or consists of the knowledge base, which contains the accumulated experience and also an inference engine that actually consists of a set of rules for applying the knowledge in the knowledge base, and also it also consists of the user interface, okay, which actually provides interaction between the user of the expert system and the expert system itself. Now, on my slide 4, artificial intelligence can be divided into strong and weak. Now, when I say weak artificial intelligence, it is the principle behind this weak AI is simply the fact that machines can be made to act as if they are intelligent. For example, now, when human player actually plays a chess against a computer, the human player may actually feel as if the computer is actually making an impressive move, but the chess application is not thinking and planning at all. So you can say that kind of a system is actually weak artificial intelligence system. What about the intelligent personal assistant that you can also find on your iPhones and some other phones? They are examples of weak artificial intelligence system. Now, in the case of strong artificial intelligence system, the principle behind that is that it is actually meant to represent the human mind. Okay, that is, those kind of machines, we have the ability to reason, to think, and to do all kinds of function that the human brain is actually capable of doing. But the only area which have actually exploited the strong AI is the machine robots. Now, on my slide 5, now there are several applications of AI. You have gaming. AI is actually applying gaming. Most computer games use the principle of artificial intelligence system. What about the natural language processing? Google now have a feature called speech recognition.
Hey, hold on there. I think I've told you in this class, it's not Google. How many times will I tell you? And you're going to be confusing your students. Google. Please pronounce it correctly.
Google, sir. Thank you, sir. Google now have a feature called speech recognition and automatic voice output. We also have the expert system, which I explained. An example of those expert systems are flight tracking system, the clinical system, and so on and so forth. We also have the robotic, the industrial robot for moving, for spraying, and for doing some other things. Also, you also have the speech recognition and the handwriting recognition. These are areas which you can apply artificial intelligence. Now, on my slide 6, where I have artificial intelligence agents. Now, when we talk about agent, an agent is anything that can actually perceive its environment through sensors and act through effectors. We have the human agent, the robotic agent, and the software agent. Human agents are just like your sensory organs, such as your eye, your ear, and so on and so forth. But the robotic agent, this actually replaces the cameras and the infrared range finders for the sensors. Then the software agent, this one they have they are encoded in the bit strings as it actually programs and performs some kind of actions on the system. Then you on my slide 7, artificial intelligence issues. Okay, we have several issues related to artificial intelligence, like threat to privacy, threat to human dignity, and threat to safety. An AI program that actually recognizes speech and understand natural language is capable of understanding each conversation and emails and telephone. That's a threat to privacy. Okay, threat to human dignity. AI systems have already started replacing human beings in few industries, and I think it should not replace people in the sectors where they are holding some prominent positions. So that's a kind of threat to human dignity. Threat to safety. AI system can become so minded that achieving some certain goals. So that's all I have for artificial. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Busayo. So we have listened to Busayo and we had a good session with him. So we can throw it open for discussion, and I'm going to start with Billy. Yes, Billy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Busayo. Good presentation. My question is from slide 6. Are you there?
Okay.
From my experience these days and from textbook and my teaching experience, I've been coming across the word component of computer. And most of the time, they put hardware, software, and peopleware. So my question is, that robotic agent, is it under the human or software agent? Thank you.
All right. So that's Billy. If Johnson is online, we can take you. But if not, we'll take Uchenna.
Johnson is online, sir. Sayo, I want to ask,
Okay.
Can we differentiate expert system from AI, artificial intelligence? Can
Good.
it be separated from each other?
Good.
Okay.
Next, Uchenna.
My question is on slide 7.
Yes.
I didn't understand what he meant.
I can't hear you clearly.
We can't hear you clearly. What it means by what? I'm on slide 7, yes?
Threat to human dignity. I didn't understand what he meant.
Oh, threat to human dignity. Okay, fine. So, all right. Jeremiah, we are not on the.
Hello, sir. I'm online. My own question, sir.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, or else I'll move to somebody else. Yeah.
I just want him to shed more light on inference engine. How does it interact between the knowledge base and the user interface? I mean the inference engine on slide 4.
Okay, that's fine. So, Busayo, over to you, because the others are just they're just there in class. I can't see their activity. Yes, Busayo, respond to the 4.
Okay. On John, let me respond to John from the question. Expert system and then artificial intelligence. Their expert system is just one of the application areas which you can apply artificial intelligence system.
Absolutely
Expert
correct.
system like
Absolutely correct. Good. I'm glad you answered it correctly. Yes. Okay.
Now to Uche's question, threat to human dignity. Now I said artificial intelligence system have already started replacing human beings in some certain industries. Okay, what they can do, these machines have been employed to do it. And I said that it should not replace people in this sector where they are actually holding some dignified position. So because of that, AI has actually served as a kind of threat to human dignity. Are you getting it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Then for Jeremiah question, inference engine. You asked how what is the meaning of inference engine, right? Is that not what you said?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah. The inference engine, like I said, the expert system consists of 3 components: the knowledge base, the inference engine, and the user interface. At the knowledge base, an expert inculcates the knowledge at the knowledge base. Why? This inference engine is the kind of engine that now tries to manipulate the knowledge that is in the knowledge base to arrive at a particular solution. Then the user interface
Okay,
is
round
what is
up,
the kind of
round up,
interaction between.
round up.
Okay. So, okay, now on Bela question, robotic agent. I think robotic agent, I would say my own part that you can classify them under computer agent, not human. Please.
All right. Thank you very much for the responses. So, who else is ready to make his presentation before our roundup? Nobody. Okay, fine.
I'm ready, sir. I'm ready, sir.
I mean, Abam, you have not been participating in the class, so you are not on. Jeremiah, you are ready to present. Jeremiah, you are ready to present. Jeremiah, are you ready to present?
Okay, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Jeremiah. Go ahead, start.
So I quickly move to slide 2, where I have my introduction. Artificial intelligence is a branch of science. And what does it do? It helps machines for complex problems. It helps in solving problems. So it's a machine that analyzes problems based on the knowledge that has been deposited in the repository. I move to slide 3. Artificial intelligence programming languages. What are the programming languages that is being used in artificial intelligence? The first is known as the LISP programming language that was developed in the year 1950. So it's a functional programming language and it also supports procedural extensions. What do I mean by this? It analyzes problems in stages, according to stages. It moves from the smaller larger stage. The other type of programming language in artificial intelligence is what is known as a prologue. Prologue was developed in the year 1970 and it is in a first order logic. I move to slide 4, where I have my expert system. What is an expert system? Expert system is a knowledge engineer. It interviews experts and it collects knowledge from the experts and deposits it into the database of the artificial intelligence for it to make a meaningful decision. I move to slide 5. Expert system architecture. How is this expert system developed? That is on my slide 5. An expert system is a set of programs and it manipulates the knowledge that has been encoded in it. Now, according to the problem that is about to solve, there is an inference engine that analyzes the problem and selects from a proper place of the knowledge that has been developed, that has been deposited into the database, then gives possible solution. In slide 6, I have the architecture of an expert system, where I have my facts database and there is knowledge database. We have the user at the bottom and the expert system is at the middle. Now, this diagram is just explaining that at the back end, you have database. Then, between the database and the user, there is an inference engine. There is an inference engine together with an explanation system and a knowledge base editor. So this knowledge base, these 3 things that you're seeing on slide 6 is what is called an expert system shell in between the user and the database. I move to slide 7, which is the characteristics or features of expert system. The first one is that the knowledge, it focuses on knowledge rather than data. The second one is expert system is encoded and maintained as an entity, not as a separate function. An expert system is also capable of giving explanation on the knowledge or a solution to a problem. And the fourth feature is that an expert system is often reasoned like a meta-knowledge. So I'm on slide 8 now. Hello, is everybody with me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yes.
Who are the people that are involved in an expert system? The first one is the end user. Those are the people that are going to be using the expert system. The second one is the knowledge engineer. This is the person that collects the knowledge from experts. Who are these experts? They are professionals that have been known in a field of knowledge. I'll give an example. of, let me say, in medicine, you want to design an expert system that can actually handle the problem in medicine. You gather professors of medicine. Once you have those professors together, you collect the ideas from them. Once you collect that ideas from them, then you put it in a repository body, which is known as a database, and you design a particular software which can act as an influence that will decide based on the end user is trying to look for. So that is the work of the expert engineer. The third one is the knowledge domain. Knowledge domain, just like I said, is database, where you have all the knowledge of those professors that has been collected all together. So that is what we refer to as the domain expert. So those three parts comes together to give us a complete expert system. Now, what is an importance of artificial intelligence? The importance of artificial intelligence. The first one is used in gaming, just like we use it to play games. All of these gaming so the idea behind it is an artificial intelligence used from expert system. Speech recognition. It can also recognize voice. And it also understands natural language, and it also gives computer vision. And the last slide, slide 10, is where I have my reference. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Jerry. Can we take questions? Solomon, are you giving him a question? Are you making observation? Busayo.
Sir?
Uchenna.
I don't have a question now, sir.
Johnson.
Yes, sir. I noticed something about a quick comment about what he did, sir. I noticed something that he concentrated on expert system.
Yeah, I did.
Which is the area of application of AI.
Yes.
And while talking about expert system there, he talks about the knowledge engineer. Is there any qualification that is required by this knowledge engineer? And then you talked about, you made mention of two languages. You talk about Lisp and you talk about Prolog. Are those the only two languages that are being used in artificial intelligence?
Okay, thank you. Billy.
Thank you, sir. Well done, Mr. Jerry. I just want to ask, apart from the LISP and Prolong language, do we have any recent development in terms of programming language for AI? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So back to you, Jerry, very quickly. We are running out of time for this session. Yes?
Okay. On the first question, is there any qualification for artificial to be a knowledge engineer or expert system engineer? Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Not just.
We're losing you now.
The knowledge engineer is the. Okay. Hello.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. The knowledge engineer is the person that designs. And I also want to refer to it as a software that manipulates the knowledge that has been stored in the database. All this knowledge I said, when you collect from those professors, they are just knowledge that has been stored in the database. But we need a particular engine that can generate that can only be provided by an expert engineer. So a computer scientist can also, but just anybody cannot be a knowledge engineer. So it requires you to have the knowledge of programming.
Okay, other questions, attempt other questions. Or if you are not able, then you can be discussing that outside class. I'd like to thank you all for the different perspectives that you brought to computer engineering, the basis for artificial intelligence. You know, the the computer engineer, what this topic is asking you, what contribution does the computer engineer bring to the table in terms of the development of artificial intelligence? Uchenna did mention the person who, during the Second World War, devised, produced a device which was able to break the code for U-boats of the Germans, and that saved thousands of lives of the Allied forces, especially the British. So computer engineering provides the framework, the technical, mechanical engineering framework on which artificial intelligence now builds. So the software engineer comes in between, to layer on his or our own skills in giving us an output, like somebody said, a robot or any other device that will have human that will attempt to have human abilities and characteristics. I was just watching my usual Saturday program on BBC today, and that's Click. If you have BBC on your TV, just attempt every Saturday 7:30 to 8. It will give you the latest development in computing, and you now have an artificially intelligent, if you want me to use that word, person. It's a humanoid. Humanoid means it's not a human, no, it's almost like a humanoid. We, the computer engineer, working with the software people, working with the expert systems people, have been able to build. So this humanoid is able to come, welcome you, take you to a restaurant, serve you food, do all manner of things that humans can do. Now, all of you did your best in making that link, but I think Uchenna was quite good in establishing the link. So if you piece together all of the elements that we have been able to discuss today with regard to computer engineering and artificial intelligence, I can say we have a rich pot of soup. But what I didn't hear, last year I gave the keynote address at the 40th anniversary of the Science Association of Nigeria. The Science Association of Nigeria is the gathering of all scientists in Nigeria, top-rate scientists. And I was looking at the grand challenges facing humanity today, and I ranked them. One of the top challenges, I think the number 5 in my ranking, is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence may bring destruction to humanity because we are relocating our power to these humanoids, and you never can tell what can be transformed, what they can transform into, what they can mutate into, that will lead to them facing us. And that may lead to a battle between the pure human and the humanoid, and that can bring destruction to the human race. So that's the direction that even the creators, even those people who are working on us, are watching out for. So if you want to know what I think will be some top grand challenges facing us, one is the possibility of an asteroid that is really big hitting the Earth. You see, the chances are not as heavy for now, but over a little time, you're just going to get about one giant asteroid. 50 million years ago, there was a giant asteroid that hit the Earth. And what happened? The entire Earth was blanketed. All of the dinosaurs that were on Earth perished. Big organisms, giant, organisms. They all perished. And good enough efforts have been made by the world powers to see that when that thing is coming, there could be some reactionary activities that will maybe nudge it away from the Earth and all of that. The other one is terrorism. We are walking a direction. We are walking a very dangerous path with North Korea, the US, and all these nuclear armed countries, spoiling for a fight. When that happens, you're going to have what they call a nuclear holocaust. The whole place is going to be blanketed by we in Nigeria cannot be exempt. 2 weeks ago, I was asked by Nigerian Defense Academy to come give the convocation lecture of the regular course 64, regular course 65 during their personal parade. And I told them very clearly, that whether the trouble is in the Korea Peninsula or anywhere else, we in Nigeria, we're all part of this small world, and we will be affected. So I don't want to go into all the details of what I said, but I can email you the lecture, and I'm sure you go to. I'm also going to email you the lecture that I gave to Science Association of Nigeria about the grand challenges facing humanity today. So artificial intelligence. I was looking for somebody to tell us, although I think Busayo mentioned it about dignity, and that's what Uchenna was asking. Uchenna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Uchenna was asking, what does it mean by human dignity? That's the direction it was turning. I was thinking it will move towards this other direction that I'm looking at. But we've had a very nice day. We can't take the OER, Open Educational Resources, for today, but that will be our next class, which will be on Monday. Monday is a public holiday, and we're going to organize it in a way that will suit you. So I'd like to thank you for attending the class. Today, the 30th day of September 2017, we have concluded 3 quarters in 2017. We're now inching tomorrow into October 1, the last quarter of 2017. The God that has kept us through the last 3 quarters will keep us to the next quarter. And I wish you a very joyful time. Thank you, class.
Yes, happy independence in advance.
Happy independence and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.